Now I'd like to talk with you a little bit about what I would call capturing the song. Essentially that means recording the song and then embellishing it, mixing and mastering it, making it really great. So this is what this section is going to be all about. And there are three main elements I'm going to be covering. One is I'm going to be emphasizing that you should start with a brilliant signal, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The second, I'm going to just outline some basic steps that get you through the process, and then I'm going to talk about some aspects of the process itself. So the first thing I want to talk about is this is a point especially where you begin to use technology, and I very much want to emphasize that technology is brilliant and it's wonderful and it has a definite role in many aspects of our lives, including creating songs and music, but it is not a replacement for creative brilliance or creative genius. So please try and develop your creative genius for songwriting and then use the technology as a set of tools for really making it superb. So I just want to emphasize right from the get-go that creating the best signal, which I'm going to say to mean the actual voice or the instrument melody that you're going to play, this is of critical importance. So put a great signal in for your recording is my message. Now what are the steps in doing that? Let's use, for instance, the voice as an example. If you're going to be singing, and that's your role in all of this, first of all, you're going to need to have a microphone that may not be the most expensive microphone in the world, but it's a good microphone and you really do know how to use it. And in the case of microphones that have a little bit of technology attached to them, that you know how to adjust the microphone to suit your voice and to really do the best from the microphone point of view. Secondly, of course, you need to connect your microphone to the next step. And that next step is usually a preamp, but what you use for that connection are very high quality cable or wireless, including digital wireless. It's quite a good way to go. Once you've now gotten your signal to the preamp, this is quite an important step, and what the preamp is mainly all about is improving the quality and the evenness of the signal, and you often use techniques in the preamp such as compression or gain. You started with a brilliant signal by singing well, and now you're improving the signal through the preamp. Now once the signal exits the preamp, it needs to get to your computer. But before you can take that signal from the preamp to your computer, you have another step, and that is the analog to digital conversion. Sound, when it's coming from your voice or a guitar, is in an analog realm or an analog format, and this needs to be turned into something that the computer understands, which is a digital realm or a digital format. So you need a pretty decent or better quality analog to digital converter. So really, so far, now we've gotten to the computer. And what's the computer for? And I'm going to keep this piece fairly brief, but then I'll elaborate later on concerning what's going on. But basically, you get your signal into the computer, and you, of course, get it onto the software of the computer. And essentially what you're doing is recording your signal. But then, in addition to recording that signal, you are going to embellish the signal in many ways, and you're also going to be going through a process that you had done actually before you sang the song, and I want to explain that in just a moment.